Thank you for that introduction, and please note that my daughter, Taylor, wrote my biography, and I may or may not have been a little worried as to what she would come up with since we share the same sarcastic gene. I appreciate that she looked favorably upon my good qualities and ignored my many failures. And please note it was solely her idea to leave my prison record out of my biography. And really that information isn't relevant anymore. My ankle bracelet has been removed. We're good. And I was also informed that speaking today was part of my community service hours. So hopefully it's a win-win for everyone. Some people have to actually do their community service hours, unlike Lindsay Lohan. Graduates, parents, family, and friends, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Christi Hein, and I am humbled to be here today. I am always thankful to talk to high school graduates, but especially thankful to talk to homeschool high school graduates. I'm not sure how I qualified to speak today, maybe because I was a homeschool mom, and I understand how easy we had it buying new pajamas rather than school clothes each year. That paid for college. Or maybe it was the fact that we would go snowboarding several times during the week and call it PE. Or maybe it was the trips to the grocery store, which are an educational mecca for homeschoolers. It was a place where we hit the English aisles, and yes, there are English aisles, where I instructed Jack and Tay on rhetorical devices by visiting the cereal aisles and teaching them about alliteration from the boxes of Captain Crunch and Frosted Flakes, or personification through Count Chocula, and of course, onomatopoeia through Rice Krispies and their trademark Snap, Crackle, Pop. Seems like it's a running theme today, but I'll be honest, we avoided the math aisles. There are math aisles too. Determining fractions on the scales in the vegetable aisle, and the conversion of pints and quarts in the dairy section. We just simply decided to buy a whole bunch of gallons of milk and solve the problem. I will say that math is the devil's language, and I was determined to protect my children at all costs. Or maybe I'm qualified because there were hours of sitting through countless conversations where I would be lectured or questioned if my kids were being adequately socialized because they were homeschooled. And they're shocked when I replied that I didn't want them to be normal by today's society. And be careful what you wish for. I have been to many commencement ceremonies over the 17 years that I've been teaching, and after attending ceremony after ceremony and listening to speaker after speaker, there was knowledge that was imparted to me. And truly, this is the one thing that I've learned from the graduation speakers. Short speeches are the best speeches. So, love Jesus, congratulations, peace out, drop the mic, crushed it right there. And I should just walk off the stage and not get myself in any more trouble. But you guys aren't going to get off that easy. Remember, it's community service, and I have hours. So, for the last 5 years, I've been working as a college professor, teaching English composition to predominantly freshmen. As I reflect at the end of each semester, I am always humbled with the realization that I learn more from my students than they could possibly learn from me. I wanted to share with you what I've learned from them and from friends whose wisdom I value much more than my own. I hope that this helps you on your journey, and it's kind of entitled, If I Were 18, What I Would Want to Know. First, you don't have to have it all figured out. God's plans are far bigger and better than yours. Don't become so set in the plans that you have for your life that you miss out on what God wants you to do. You don't have to have it all figured out. Number two, a test or grade does not determine your worth. I'm a professor, I guess I shouldn't be saying that, but it's the truth. Success is not determined by the results of the test or your grade at the end of the semester, but your response to those results and that grade, and what you choose to do with the outcome. I have seen some of the best students destroyed by a single grade. It's heartbreaking. Nothing should have that much power over you. Nothing. A test or grade does not determine your worth. Number 3, the best things in life are usually unexpected. I met my husband on a blind date over 20 years ago. My son was born early, and my daughter, well, she was just a bit of a surprise. God orchestrates moments that we can't plan, and you meet people along the way that change you remarkably for the better and in ways you never thought possible. Success can be defined a number of ways, but truly success is the eternal significance you have in someone's life. Be someone's unexpected gift. The best things in life are usually unexpected. Number 4. There's only 100 of these, so we're good. Find something worth dying for and live for it. Who or what is your passion? How strong are your beliefs? Are you willing to sacrifice for those beliefs? What are your non-negotiables? You need to figure out who or what you are living for now. That's the one thing you do have to figure out. According to Christianity Today, 70% of Christians walk away from their faith after high school. Look around you. I know enough math to know that a majority of your friends sitting next to you may or may not be sitting next to you in the coming years at church, simply because they haven't figured out who or what they were living for prior to leaving high school. That's scary. This is your life. I'm not going to lie. As a parent, I want my kids to follow my beliefs. Absolutely. But the bottom line is, I can't get them into heaven. The decision has to be their own. I think high school graduates lose their way because it was never their way to begin with. In A Whoresome's Boy, my favorite writer, C.S. Lewis, explains, "Child," said the lion, "I am telling you your story, not hers. No one is told any story but their own. Graduates, this is your story. How will you write it? Find something worth dying for and live for it." 5. The days are long, but the years are short. I promise you that you will blink and wonder how it could possibly be that you are now graduating college or getting married or having kids when you were just graduating high school. I'm sure Joel can attest to that. I spoke at his graduation. Parents, I will be standing in your shoes when my son graduates next year, God willing. Graduates, I stood in your shoes 30 years ago next month. And yes, we can all do the math on that one. Again, devil's language are the words that come to mind. The point is, you need to enjoy each moment. We get so consumed in the busyness of our day that the years are passing us at an astronomical rate. There will never be a time when you are not busy. Have fun, avoid drama, spend time with the people who are worth spending time with, and don't take a moment for granted. Dr. Seuss once said, "Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." You have to make memories in order to even have something to look back on. The days are long, but the years are short. Number 6, don't let your love be a sleeping giant. Quiet monument, stone casket holding everything you love inside of it, entombed in silence. Treat the people you love like people you love. My best friend recently posted a memory from a year ago on Facebook. She's in California, and I gave her a bracelet inscribed with the words, "Be brave." It popped up a year later on our news feed. It was monumental, though, and a great reminder to love boldly. See, my friend has terminal cancer. She has undergone 65 chemo infusions and never once has asked, why me? Instead, she chooses to say, why not me? Words cannot express how thankful I am that we have had another 365 days together. Those days, those hours, those minutes, those seconds, every one of them is a gift and a magnificent display of God's grace. Don't let your love be a sleeping giant. Cancer or any disease or tragedy should not make you suddenly grateful for the people that are in your life. It's simply a tangible reminder that life is precious. Be grateful to those people that are there for you in the best of times, the worst of times, and every time in between. Those are the real gifts. I have been gifted abundantly in my life with the love of family and friends, and I would be lost without them. Faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. Love was not meant to be silent. It was meant to be celebrated and rejoiced. Don't let your love be a sleeping giant. Number 7, this is a hard one. My daughter said it was a little harsh, but I think it's true. You will fail. We all fail. Some of us fail epically. That's usually my forte right there. Others moderately, but you will fail. Failure is a part of life. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, but it's the place and time you grow the most. Winston Churchill correctly stated that success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Have the courage to try something new. Don't let your life be a series of what-ifs and regrets. You will fail. Number 8, your parents aren't going to live forever. The reason you were on the stage today is due to the love and sacrifices of your families. I lost my mom 7 years ago, and I lost my dad 6 months ago. There is not a day that goes by that I don't think about my parents and wish they were here. Not a day. I may be getting ready to celebrate my 30-year reunion, but I was a daughter before I was a wife, mom, or friend, and I never thought there would be a time I would be without my parents. There will never be enough times you can thank your parents or tell them you love them. Actually, now is a great time. Graduates, would you please stand and acknowledge your parents with your applause? Your parents aren't going to live forever, but I know that they're loving this moment right now watching you guys. Number 9. I had to rephrase this one a little bit. Own your issues. You are responsible for your own choices, good and bad. Most of the issues we face in today's Gotham-like society are simply because people would rather give excuses than take responsibility. End of story. Be authentic, be genuine, have a backbone instead of a wishbone. Own your issues. Finally, number 10. You are not perfect, but you are important. Not because your parents say so, not because your friends say so, or not because you think so, but because the God of the universe determined your worth when he gave up his perfect Son to be crucified for you in your imperfectness. When you are doubting your worth, when you are ruminating in your mistakes, when you are contemplating your value, consider the depth of your Creator's love. It's that simple. You are not perfect, but you are important. There are things I wish I would have learned when I was 18, 20, 30, 40, coming up to 50. But like you, I am still learning. I have discovered that life is like cursive writing. It is difficult to learn. It is intricate, but it's beautiful and connected and flows together to create meaning. I pray that you are willing learners, you're ready for the challenge, and take the time to understand the beauty and meaning it brings. I'd like to leave you with a poem by Ian Thomas from his book, I Wrote This for You and Only You. he was kind enough to handwrite a copy to me, and I told him that I would be reading his poem at your commencement. The words on a tombstone: do practical things if you want your tombstone to read, they were practical. Do what makes sense if you think it should say, their life made sense. Do what the world wants if you believe in the epitaph, they did what the world wanted them to do. But if you want it to read, they lived every second they were given and touched the sky every chance they had. They burned and blazed in all the colors the eye can see and left a whole shape like them in the world when they left. Then do something else. God bless. Thank you.